Hi guys, today we're talking about mobile data while travelling around Europe. That's right, we thought we'd have a quick look at mobile data. We're planning a few trips, so we thought we'd have a bit of a deep dive into it, and now I'm about to share with you what I've found. And actually, a lot of it comes down to the router that you've got, believe it or not. And this little one here is pretty special, and it's like the baby brother to the router that we normally use in the van. So I'll come on to all of that. But as you know, it's the GL.iNet X3000 that we use in the van, the Spitz AX, and this is an X2000. So let's talk about mobile data then. So it's really easy, isn't it, when we're abroad, just to use our phones, and you know, if you've got a data plan, you've probably got some kind of roaming on there already. That's absolutely fine. But when you've got an iPad or a laptop, or you know, you want to keep an eye on how much data you're using in total, sometimes it's nice to have a router in the van and a connection that you can share with other people. We've had Wi-Fi set up in the van now pretty much ever since we've had it. So we've got a roof antenna and then the router inside the cupboard, which has been doing us just great. And we use EE when we're in the UK, but that's a data plan only and it doesn't have any roaming. So when we go abroad, we need to think about a different way of doing things. Now, last time we went abroad, we used a prepaid data O2 SIM. So you could bought it in this country, bought it from Amazon. I think it was about £30, something like that. And I can't remember how much data it had. It's about 30 gig or something like that of roaming data for 30 days. Lots of 30s. And that was a physical SIM card. And because the router that we've got, this Spitz AX, so the X3000 GL.iNet router, that one's got two SIM card slots. So we could leave our EE SIM in. We put the O2 SIM in the second slot. And we thought that'll be perfect. We'll use that while we're away. That was okay. It was a little bit problematic. Some countries, the O2 roaming to the local network didn't seem to work very well. It was very slow. So yeah, just a bit frustrated with it really. One thing which was nice was we were able to use the repeater function, so the Wi-Fi repeater function off the router, which meant that when we were on campsites which had Wi-Fi, we could connect the router to the Wi-Fi, and then it just worked for all of our other devices. Because obviously your own phone connects to the router in the van, that meant that you could effectively jump off the Wi-Fi which was on the campsite. So that worked really well, but obviously we were expecting our mobile data to be better. So we've done a bit more research this time, and what we found is that GL.iNet have now started supporting eSIMs in their routers. Now this is really clever actually, because if you may have already used an eSIM, or you might have an eSIM on your own mobile phone at the moment, but these are becoming all the rage when it comes to mobile data when you're abroad. And what it is basically a virtual SIM card. So you don't have a physical SIM that you put in your phone anymore. It's like an electronic SIM card, which is effectively a certificate and everything. So you go onto the relevant eSIM websites. You can buy an eSIM with some data on, and you can buy European roaming eSIMs, and then you can load it onto your phone. You can do that either using a QR code, or you get some codes emailed to you which you can enter into your phone, and then obviously that enables the SIM card. Now those are really designed for phones, so for iPhones, Androids, those kind of things. However, clever people at GL.iNet have made an eSIM adapter so that it works with your routers. Now it works with the X3000 that we've got in the van, and it also works with this, which is an X2000. And I'm going to talk about this router a little bit more a bit later on, because this I think is amazing value considering what it's able to do. But it's basically identical to the X3000, so the 5G big boy router that we've got in the van. It's exactly the same, apart from it's 4G and has a couple of antennas less. So every other capability pretty much is identical. So how does it work then? Well, with this you get, to use an eSIM in one of the routers, you have to buy, sounds really odd, you have to buy a physical eSIM card from GL.iNet. So what that is, you get a little card and you get an actual SIM card, but that SIM card is a virtual eSIM. So you put the physical SIM card into one of the slots in the router. If you have a look at this router here, you can see it's got 2 SIM card slots, just like the bigger X3000. So you pop your eSIM card into one of those, and then in the software on the router, you can go in and you can load the eSIM that you've just bought from whichever provider. Now, in preparation for our trip away, we've decided to use Orange in France to do ours. They offer 100 gig of roaming for €50, which is pretty reasonable value, and that's for 30 days. That's going to be plenty for us when we're in the van. And you get an app that you can put on your iPhone which shows you how much you've used, and you can top it up while you're away and all that kind of thing if you want to. But because that's a French eSIM and it's a European-wide roaming one, that means it also works in this country. So we can buy it and test it before we go away to make sure it's working properly. So what I did, I loaded that, I bought one of those on the website, very easy. Put your details in, credit card, and you get an email which has got all of the details for your eSIM. You then go into the software on the router, select your eSIM profiles, and then you can load a new eSIM profile. So you enter those details from Orange, that's who we used, and that very simply then enables that eSIM virtually onto your router. And then all you have to do is tell it to select that particular SIM card, because remember it's got 2 slots, and if you've already got a SIM card in the other one, just tell it to swap to the eSIM card in the router, and that's it. It works. So we were sat on our driveway here at home with that Orange France SIM card, eSIM card, live in the router, and it had connected to Vodafone on our driveway. Now we've never subscribed to Vodafone, never bought anything from Vodafone, and obviously that was roaming using the Orange SIM card on our drive. So quickly turned that back off again, so switch the SIM card back, and that's because we know that it's now working, it's ready to go. When we go abroad, we can switch it just before we get in the tunnel, and then that's it. While we're away, it'll just move from country to country to country, and it'll roam all the way around. And the fact that it's an eSIM, it's really easy to top up. Once you've installed that physical part of the GL.iNet eSIM, you never have to do that again. It's all done in the software. So if we were somewhere else and wanted to buy another eSIM, you can just buy the eSIM, go into the software, and then set that up as well. And you can have multiple eSIMs set up. So if you didn't want to buy a roaming one, you could buy one for Belgium, one for France, one for Germany, one for Italy, if you wanted to. Most of them do roaming, and it's quite a reasonably cheap way of doing things. So I think eSIM compatibility in your van with a router is absolutely outstanding, and a really, really clever feature. Now, one of the other things which I really like about these GL.iNet routers, and certainly this X2000 and the X3000 in particular, I really like the fact that these can also tether to your phone. So if you use a normal, what have I got here, normal lightning cable with a USB plug, you can plug that straight into the router, and then the tethering on your phone, you can share it via the router. So that's really handy. I also like the fact that, as I said earlier, they've got a repeater built in. So if you've got Wi-Fi wherever you are, and you want to be able to use that on all your devices, you can connect this to the Wi-Fi, and then this will rebroadcast it around your van, which is very clever indeed, a very special feature. And even better than that, it can combine those things together. So if you've got a SIM card in here and Wi-Fi, if you want a really fast connection, what you can do is you can tell it to combine those and load balance between them, and then you get more throughput and more speed. So that's, again, really, really clever feature. Obviously this has got normal RJ45s on the back, so you've got a socket there for your normal network. You can also connect it, if you had this in a house or something like that, you can connect it to a cabled internet connection as well if you needed to. These run on 9 to 36 volts, so Again, if you when you buy one of these, you obviously get a 240 volt mains adapter, but we use ours in the van on 12 volts. We just bought one of the normal plugs and then wired it in, and that's it. It just sits on all the time. So it works on 12 volt, absolutely no problem at all. And they also have really good mountings. So you get all of this stuff with it. So that's a mounting backing plate. And what you'll find is that just slides into, if I get it in the right way round, where are we? Here we go. Just slides onto that like that. So if you've got somewhere in your van that you want to put the router on a wall or something like that, obviously there's loads of screw holes in there, and you can screw it to it, screw this back plate on, and then this just literally hooks on like that. And then obviously the antennas can move. If you want to as well, they also supply you with a really, really sticky pad. And this is what we did with ours. We didn't bother screwing it on, we used the sticky pad. So sticky pad on the shiny side, stick it on your wall, slot your router on, job done. So easy to install, really impressed with that. So yeah, all in all, very, very impressive bits of kit these, and very universal if you're going away. If you're in the van a lot and you want a decent, stable internet connection, been so impressed with our X3000 that we've been using. That's the 5G version. As I said, this is a 4G version, and it's less than half the price. So do check out in the description below the links to have a look at this router. When I looked online, these are under £200 now. I'm trying to remember exactly how much they are. I think about 160, 170, something like that. Which actually, when you compare the market in terms of a really good quality universal router with all of those kind of features, I think that is cracking value for money. I really do. It's tried and tested, obviously, with the bigger brother, the 5G version as well. This 4G version is brand new and has only just come out. What I would say is this has got two Wi-Fi antennas, so those two ones in the centre are Wi-Fi, and then it's got two 4G antennas that sit on the side. Now, if you want to get better coverage than you normally would in a tin can, which is basically the van, you can quite easily just unscrew these off, drop them on the floor, and you've got normal antenna connectors on here, which you're able to then put an external antenna on the roof. So if you want, you can have a magnetic one and then put the cable through the window, or you can drill a hole in the roof of your van, mount it securely with a nut underneath and everything, seal it all up, and then obviously drop the cable inside, and something like a pointing puck type antenna would be perfect for this, because it's got obviously two antennas, and those have two antennas built in as well. And then you can just leave these two Wi-Fi antennas to do their job inside the van. So yeah, all in all, very, very impressive. Definitely worth checking out if you're thinking about having a router in the van. If you're looking for mobile data, we spent a lot of time looking at all the different eSIM providers, all the different options and things, and we quite like that orange one. Seemed to be quite well thought out. It was quick to process. The stuff came through straight away. Professional website, app on your phone so you can monitor usage and everything else and top up while you're away. Really like that. So yeah, fingers crossed when we're away on our trip, that will do the job, and we'll let you know in due course. But yeah, hopefully that's interesting for you. Do check out this X2000. Like I say, they're brand new. Links in the description below. Let us know what kind of setup you've got for your European travel, what works for you. And we'll see you again soon on Campervan Time.